In June 1999, engineers at NASA noticed something strange. Someone had penetrated their network and downloaded critical software. Source code worth $1.7 million that controlled the International Space Station's life support systems. The breach was sophisticated, precise, and deeply concerning. But what they didn't know was that the perpetrator wasn't a hardened cyber criminal or foreign state actor. He was a 15-year-old boy sitting in his bedroom in Florida. Jonathan James began his journey into the digital underground like many teenagers of the late 1990s. With a deep curiosity about computers and too much time on his hands. But while other kids were playing video games or surfing the early internet, James was teaching himself the intricacies of computer systems, networks, and their vulnerabilities. The internet of 1999 was a different place. Cybersecurity was still in its infancy. Organizations that we now consider vital to national security often had surprisingly basic defenses. It was in this environment that young Jonathan, using the handle CUMRaid, began exploring the digital frontier. His first major breach targeted high-security military networks. Using a backdoor he discovered in a server in Dulles, Virginia, James infiltrated the Defense Threat Reduction Agency, or DTRA. He installed a backdoor that gave him access to sensitive emails and employee credentials.
Let's see what else we can find.
But James wasn't done. In an act that would soon make headlines worldwide, he set his sights on an even bigger target: NASA.
NASA, here we come.
Using his growing expertise in system vulnerabilities, James managed to breach NASA's network.
I'm in.
Once inside, he downloaded source code for the International Space Station's life support systems. This wasn't just any software. It was responsible for controlling the temperature and humidity aboard the ISS, critical elements for astronaut survival in space. The impact was immediate and severe.
We're going to need to shut down the systems immediately.
NASA was forced to shut down its computer systems for 3 weeks, costing taxpayers $41,000 in security fixes and lost productivity. But more importantly, the breach exposed a frightening vulnerability. If a teenager could access these systems, who else could? In the end, James made history in a way no teenager would want. The sentence was 6 months in a detention facility, followed by probation until his 18th birthday. The legal system faced a unique challenge. How do you handle a case where a 15-year-old has compromised national security? In the end, James made history in a way no teenager would want. He became the first juvenile ever incarcerated for cybercrime in the United States. The sentence was 6 months in a detention facility, followed by probation until his 18th birthday. He was also banned from using computers for recreational purposes. For a young person who lived and breathed technology, this was perhaps the harshest part of his punishment. The case of Jonathan James serves as a fascinating intersection of youth, technology, and security. It exposed the vulnerabilities in systems we assumed were impenetrable and raised uncomfortable questions about how we protect our most sensitive digital assets. But it also highlighted a growing reality of the digital age. Technical ability doesn't always come with maturity or understanding of consequences. James later stated that he never intended to cause harm or damage.
I was just curious.
He wanted to learn about the systems he was breaking into. The aftermath of James's case led to significant changes in how government agencies approached cybersecurity. NASA and the Department of Defense both underwent major security overhauls. The case also sparked important discussions about young people in technology, how to nurture their talents while ensuring they understand the ethical implications of their actions. Today, the story of Jonathan James serves as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of how far we've come in cybersecurity. The vulnerabilities he exploited would be much harder to find in today's systems, but the fundamental lessons remain relevant. The importance of robust security, the need to guide young talent toward ethical paths, and the recognition that in the digital world, age is no barrier to capability. Perhaps the most poignant aspect of James's story is how it demonstrates the double-edged nature of technological talent. The same skills that allowed him to breach NASA's defenses could have been used to protect such systems. Indeed, many former hackers have gone on to become leading cybersecurity experts, using their understanding of vulnerabilities to strengthen rather than exploit them. The case of the teenage NASA hacker stands as a watershed moment in cybersecurity history. It showed us that in the digital age, threats can come from unexpected places, and that genius, unchecked by wisdom or ethics, can lead down dangerous paths. Jonathan James's story continues to resonate because it embodies both the incredible potential and the serious responsibilities that come with technological capability in our interconnected world.